Hello everyone, myself Dr. Rajeshri Zavle, Assistant Professor, DG College of Commerce, Satara. Dear students, today we are going to discuss about free consent. Free consent is one essential ingredient of a valid contract. So we need to understand the concept of free concept and consent. So free consent is an essential prerequisite of a valid contract. An agreement is valid only when it is made out of free consent of the parties. The parties to the contract should have identity of mind. That means both should be equally ready and willing to enter into a contract freely without any force, coercion, undue influence, mistake, misrepresentation, and fraud. So now we'll see what is the consent or meaning of consent. According to section 13 of the Indian Contract Act, when two or more persons are said to consent when they agree upon the same thing in the same sense. There will be no contract if the parties have not agreed upon the same thing in the same sense. When each party has different thing in mind or understand the thing in a different way, there is no consent. Contract is not valid unless the parties are ad idem on all essential terms of the contract. That means both the parties should be understood, they are ready and willing to perform the terms and the conditions of the contract. Now we'll see one illustration. A woman executed a deed of gift in favor of her nephew under the impression that she was executing a deed authorizing her nephew to manage her land. The evidence showed that the woman never intended to execute such a deed of gift, nor was the deed ever read and explained to her. It was held by the court that the deed was void and inoperative because there was no free consent in the particular will or the particular contract. In this case, the consent of the women is totally absent and hence the contract is void and not enforceable by law. If we want to understand free consent, according to section 14 of the Indian Contract Act, consent is said to be free when it is not caused by coercion, undue influence, fraud, misrepresentation, and mistake. So, here we need to understand section 15 for coercion, section 16 for undue influence, section 17 for fraud, section 18 for misrepresentation, section 20 and 21, 22. These sections are for mistake. When the consent is not free or it is obtained by coercion, undue influence, fraud, misrepresentation, or mistake, the contract becomes voidable at the option of the party whose consent is so caused. So here free consent is very important. If we are talking about these ingredients we should not be present in the consent, those are coercion. Coercion means what? Coercion means forcing or compelling a person to enter into an agreement or contract. Here the consent of the party is obtained by use of force or threat, and that's why if the contract is created by using coercion, that will not be a valid contract. Section 15 of the Indian Contract Act defines the term coercion as the committing or threatening to commit any act forbidden by the Indian Penal Code or the unlawful detaining or threatening to detain any property to the prejudice of any person, whatever with the intention of causing any person to enter into an agreement. So, it is immaterial whether the Indian Penal Code is or is not enforced at the place where the coercion is employed. Now we'll see the second thing, that is undue influence. Even when the contract is by using undue influence, then that is also not a valid contract. That means consent is not free. So what is that undue influence? Section 16 of the Indian Contract Act provides that a contract is said to be induced by undue influence where the relations subsisting between the parties are such that one of the parties is in a position to dominate the will of the other and uses that position to obtain an unfair advantage over the other. In this case also, if the force or the undue influence is used in creating a contract, that contract will not be also enforceable by law. Now we'll see next, that is very important, fraud. If the contract is created by using fraud or creating fraud, then also that contract will be treated as invalid or not enforceable by law. According to section 17 of the Indian Contract Act 1872, fraud means and includes any of the following acts committed by a party to a contract. So here, anyone obtain his conveyance or by his agent with intent to deceive another party, his agent, or to induce him to enter into a contract. That means what? By using a force, fraud is created and the parties are not given proper information about the contract, and by cheating or by doing a fraud, they are trying to make a contract. So in that case, that contract will not be a proper contract or valid contract. Next is misrepresentation. What is this misrepresentation? A misrepresentation is a false statement which is made by a person either willfully or innocently. A false statement made willfully with an intent to deceive or to cheat the other party is known as fraud. If the false statement is made innocently or without an intent to deceive the other party, it is called misrepresentation. The party making the statement believes it is true, but actually it is not so. So here, whether the intentional or unintentional, that cheating is there, then if that is present in the contract, that contract will not be a valid contract. It will be treated as the contract is prepared by or contract is made by misrepresentation, and that contract will not be enforceable by law. According to section 18 of the Indian Contract Act, misrepresentation means the positive assertion in a manner not warranted by the information of person making it of that which is not true, though he believes it to be true. Any breach of duty which without any intent to deceive gains as advantage to the person committing it or anyone claiming under him. This is also known as constructive fraud. So here we need to understand that there should not be any fraud, there should not be any misrepresentation in the contract. The fifth that ingredient of invalid contract is mistake. If the mistake is present, that contract will not be said to be a valid contract. The contract should be free from coercion, undue influence, fraud, misrepresentation, or mistake. Mistake is an error made by the parties to the contract. It is erroneous mistaken belief about something. There is a misunderstanding between the parties. Mistake may be a mistake of fact and mistake of law. So this should not be there while creating a contract. So in this lecture we are talking about this very important element of a valid contract, that is free consent. That means there should be a free consent in the formation of a contract or in agreement or the contract, then only it will be treated as a valid contract. If the agreement is created by using this force and influence, mistake, etc., so that contract will not be a legal contract or valid contract. Next ingredient is lawful object. For the formation of a valid contract, it is also necessary that the parties to an agreement must agree for a lawful object and lawful purpose. The object for which the agreement has been entered into must be fraudulent or illegal or immoral or opposed to public policy, or must not imply injury to a person or property of another. Here, if we see the object should be valid only, not illegal. There should not be any fraud. There should not be any no intention that will be harmful to the parties. So here agreement which is made or created into pure conditions, that only enforceable by law. So here we have to understand that the object of the contract should be valid, should not be illegal, should not be fraudulent, should not be immoral or opposed to public policy. Then only that contract will be treated as a valid contract or agreement. If the contract is for illegal purpose, immoral purpose, then that contract will be treated as unlawful contract or illegal contract, which will not be enforceable by law. And the contract should be in a written form only. I hope you have understood all these terms and concept of a valid contract. So now we will stop here. Thank you one and all.